JSS is one of the players that I play fairly frequently with online, and he has challenged me to a game with Immortal Heroes, Rise of Vigil, Darkness Unleashed, Dawn of Champions. I was unfortunately able to get the first game on record, which was actually went quite well for me, but I will get the second game. And so I'm going to start with Mosaic Horn, which is a pretty high upside kind of a construct if I'm able to get some energy, and it builds towards my champion. There's not a lot really exciting on the board now. He took a Guide of Lost Souls. The Reality Sculptor is pretty good. I think I'd be okay, though, to just take a Mystic and build towards my champion and leave the board the way it is, because I'm not really concerned if he gets the Reality Sculptor. We would be fine with that. I may want to take it soon, but I may want to build my rune first. So he did take it, and he took the Wolf Shaman from me. And I will again just go ahead and take my champion. I just don't think I want the Treasure Hunter that badly yet, though it is getting to the point I may want to add some heavies to the deck. I still feel like there's a good chance there may be one high-impact hero that could make a big difference in the game, and I just don't want to hand that card to him, and I would like to have it. And that is that kind of card, actually, because I have the Mosaic Horn. Magnet Monk plus 2 shards is pretty big, really. Unfortunately, Rift Walker's Axe also is. I don't want the heavy yet. At some point we'll have to go towards the heavies, especially if he's going to get the Rift Walker's Axe. But I maybe could have one more round before I do that. And here, I wish I had one more energy. And then I could do the Loam Speaker Druid. I don't want to just load my deck down with heavy infantry. So I'm going to continue to hope of, like, if I can get the Loam Speaker Druid, or if he takes it and something else pops up. I'm waiting for a couple of good cards to pop up to really make my deck here. Because really right now all I have is the Mosaic Horn. The Magnet Monk is okay, and certainly may have its moments. This is fine. Here it creates the rune that I need to buy the Loam Speaker Druid, and so I just even build even more on my rune advantage. And now I have a decent shot pretty soon at maybe getting the Reactor Shrine, which would, help the Magnet Monk do a little more work, and then the Magnet Monk would always turn on the Reactor Shrine. And then I can eat the honor pool that way, and then I don't have to worry so much about fighting over the monsters. And I can kind of just let him sort of take the monsters off the board for me, opening up the board for my runes to kind of take control. So that's the strategy that we're going with so far. It's basically the only way that I have to avoid just loading my deck down with heavy infantry to go after the monsters on the board. Now, the Hedron Dredger is looking better right now than it would otherwise, because I just picked up that Reactor Shrine. And it's, it has some potential that if I get one more Makana, I'll just always be able to turn on the Shrine. And not only that, it will make the Shrine that much more impressive if I'm doing that, because obviously, I have at least 3 Makana. If I have an 8-cost construct that's gaining me 3 honor every turn, nothing wrong with that. So he's able to pick up a couple of nice ones there, the Beast Staff and the Lifebound Muse. Okay, so I've energized again my Mosaic Horn. Don't think I'll be hitting anything else to add to the Reactor Shrine, so go ahead and use that this turn. And there's no Lifebound monsters on the board to beat with the pack leader, so I think the Ascara of Souls is just a little bit higher impact here. Unfortunately, I can't banish anything good that I want to get rid of with the Phase Fiend, but I will take those 2 energy shards. Thank you very much. So, still in a pretty good position here, I think. He's gone a little bit more with the monster kill, which he's, was sort of forced into, if nothing else, because otherwise, if, we just simply both refused to beat monsters, eventually my Neri would get there. A lot of things happening this turn. The Vault Lich came out, ended up banishing the Aronix and the Aaron the Godslayer that would have beaten him. He picked up the Wild Call Staff, which is what led to that, and he has quite the Lifebound deck going himself. Maybe partially trying to cut me off from those cards. So at this point, the Reality Sculptor's looking pretty good. I have a couple or 3 pretty good, a couple of 3-cost cards that are pretty good to copy. And if nothing else, if I at least hit a Mystic with it, that will work. Now I do want the Pack Leader because of the Thorn Charger that's on the board. And I definitely want the Deathsworn Warrior. Just a little quick banish. I guess I want the Skyrocket Drone because of the energy attached to it. And it's another Mystic, so now I have pretty much my max of what I would want to be Mystics in the deck. Pretty close game going on here. That he's kind of more of a half and half kind of deck now. So he's going to be able to beat some monsters. He's not necessarily going to be able to pick up the cards that come out off of the monsters, as is the case here. He won't be able to get that Loam Speaker Druid. So I will, and I don't see anything better for me to be doing, so I will make an exception on more rune cards for a card that creates 3 rather than 2. At this point, that's still a pretty powerful card. I'm hoping that the board will clear of monsters soon. He's beating some monsters. I have some potential to beat monsters. Not a ton. If I don't find some way to beat at least 1 or 2 monsters, I'm probably going to be in some trouble in this one. That may help. It may be a little late. So, where he's bought heavies, he's certainly doing a little bit more to the honor pool than I am. And I haven't really bought a lot of high rune value or high honor value cards either. So, I'm going to need... my deck may be better, and I may be able to create some value here in the late turns, and I'm going to kind of have to hope for that, because otherwise I'm not going to get there. There's not a hero that I really care enough to put on top for this turn, necessarily. Would be just as good next turn, so probably going to end up beating the Thorn Charger. Definitely going to beat the Thorn Charger because I want to see what comes out. And I will put the Loam Speaker Druid on top. I want to make sure I can unite, if nothing else. And I'll just copy the highest rune card that I have, which is the Pack Leader. Take the Void Thirster as the highest ratio card, rune to honor value, and that's all I can do this turn. Now I have a pretty good hand coming up for this turn, so this may be the hand that can kind of get me back in the game. What he's doing on this turn is just a lot of power and just straight up beating Zeron, Lord of Diofol. So I get to unite, draw some cards, lots of rune here. Definitely need to energize. I'm going to take the Spark Sprayer regardless, so let's do that first. Probably going to buy the Ogo Demon Trap with a chance to rally. But first I'm going to take the Serpent Siren. And I think I will go for the rally because I think I'm a little behind. And I need to just kind of play for any opportunity I have to come back. I did not get a rally. So here I'll just buy a couple heavies. I'm gonna need a pretty good turn if I get another turn to seal this one away. I'm starting to make the comeback, but might be a little bit late. Where, maybe my cards are a little more high impact than the heavies he put in his deck. But looks like he's going to end the game. Oh, no, he took that instead of the Vault Lich. He took the Gromite, so maybe he's thinking, he actually could do better with one more turn than I could. And he missed with the Beast Staff. So I'm not quite sure why he took the Gromites if he intended to end it that way. I am going to go ahead and banish the 2 Apprentice here. I don't want to draw those. And I am going to be cycling my deck now quite deep back into my deck with these 3 energy shards. Can't buy the Mosaic Horn first before I cycle, so I'll just go ahead and shard it up. So I'd like to be able to buy a hero, put the hero on top, and then draw it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I don't quite... Oh, yeah, I do. I could buy the Void Avenger, leaving me with 2 total. No, I can't quite get there that way. So, now, the best I can do is just buy the best honor ratio card. I did rally. Use the Reactor Shrine. And I guess I take the Thorn Charger. It's the highest ratio card anyway, and it's a chance to rally. And now I can copy... doesn't really matter what I copy, it only gets me 1 more honor, so... Pack Leader, sure. Buy another heavy, so... Came back this turn... added some value to the deck with in a little mini rally, and now I just have to see if it's good enough. It may not be. He's built quite the honor lead, and I may have gambled too much by not going after the monster kill early on. But I thought the upside maybe outweighed the risk there, where if a couple of big heroes, like say if that Emissary had popped out earlier and I could have bought it, that would have just been the huge game that I was looking for. So, see what happens here. He again misses with the Beast Staff, and it was a very close one. Good game, JSS. And we'll see if we can't do another one.